Greetings, my friends. I want to thank you all for subscribing. I want to thank all of my channel members for supporting me in this endeavor to save pop culture. And if you are not subscribed, please consider supporting this channel. We need you. Thank you. I have been a collector of Star Wars toys my whole life, and I can tell you I have a pretty damn extensive collection. I've had a burning passion for Star Wars ever since I saw it in my youth, and I remember always checking toy aisles for new action figures, vehicles, micro machines. I'd buy different variants of Darth Vader, R2-D2, the various aliens, all in different sizes with different points of articulation. I am, or at least I was, before these dark times awoke, the core target audience for Star Wars merchandise, the avid collector who could wind up with a dozen different Darth Vader iterations in his collection, X-Wings in all different sizes. It didn't matter. It was a compulsion. I think for fans, at least in my case, buying the toys and other merchandise was a way we were subconsciously trying to get closer to that universe, as if surrounding ourselves with droids and ships and comics could make us more a part of that galaxy far, far away. And then Disney bought Star Wars from George Lucas, and that changed everything. At the time, we all hoped, hey, now we'll get more Star Wars movies and shows, professionally crafted. It's going to be a Star Wars renaissance for all of us. But it didn't work out that way. In actual fact, Disney has damaged the Star Wars brand beyond repair, in my opinion, and I'll tell you how I know from my personal experience. On my last birthday, I was out shopping for presents with some birthday money I had received, and in a vintage store, I stumbled across some excellent Kenner toys, vintage from the first run of the classic trilogy, toys I had never owned, reasonably priced. And what did I do? I walked on by. I no longer had any desire to buy more Star Wars toys, not even the authentic toys unpolluted by Disney's corruption from my youth, because the flame had been snuffed. The flames of passion had been smothered inside me. So why am I telling you this? Because I have to believe that if I'm feeling this way, it represents how a lot of you are feeling as well. I think toy collectors are the canaries in the pop culture coal mine, the indicators that what has gone wrong with Star Wars is nigh unto irreparable. And you know what? According to a few recent rumors, Hasbro believes this as well. My Hollywood spies have sent me several dispatches in the last month suggesting that Hasbro has had it with Star Wars.
I'm not surprised, Doomcock. Anyone who goes out shopping these days can attest that the glory days of entire aisles filled with Star Wars toys are done. Now you might get a little subsection of an aisle with Dusty Ray figures on discount, some Grogu crap. It's sad, dude. I heard a rumor you stand there long enough, a tumbleweed will eventually blow by.
Yeah, Star Wars toy sections are something of a ghost town, Harvey Cthulhu. That's no rumor, I've seen it myself. But let's go ahead and get to what my Hollywood spies have told me about the latest alleged failure of Disney Star Wars. At this point, I must state that what I'm about to share with you is information provided by sources claiming knowledge of the situation, but since I cannot personally confirm any of it, I'm presenting it as unverified rumor, and I ask you to please take it with a grain of salt. So on August 22nd, I received the first rumblings that all is not well at Hasbro. Quote, "We have sources telling us Hasbro is done with Star Wars and is looking to sell the remaining contract. We are talking at least 5 years left. So far, we have no information on if there's any other company interested in buying. What we have been able to dig up is why Hasbro is doing this, and it's pretty clear Star Wars is not moving. This includes vintage series. We are talking about Vader, Luke, etc. Basically, Hasbro cannot afford to keep making toys the stores can't sell." Unquote. This is an interesting rumor, and I am presenting it as a rumor, but due to my personal experience as a collector, I can tell you, it's been a long time since I bought a Star Wars toy, and it's not just because I'm closing my wallet to Disney. although that is the primary motivation. But honestly, when it comes to vintage used toys from my youth that I do not own, I'm passing those by as well, and that can't be a good sign. Now, my spies sent me a follow-up on September 18th, and let me go ahead and share what they had to say just a few days ago. Quote, "Let's start with toy sales. As you know, we recently sent you a report claiming Hasbro is fed up with Star Wars toys selling. Well, we've been digging, and what we found was there's definitely something to this story. According to sources, not only are Star Wars sales down, but Marvel as well, 68% across the board. But the biggest difference now, compared to just a few years ago, is even vintage toys are not moving. We are talking Luke, Han, Vader, etc. Hello, even Lego Star Wars are not moving like they were. We've sent you some information similar to this, but there's a new detail according to our sources. Hasbro has put out several new legacy lines, including new Luke, Han, Princess Leia, Vader, and more, and these new versions are not moving. Personally, I haven't been in a toy section in some time, so I wouldn't know if this is true." Unquote. And that's the real question, my friends. As always, the question with these rumors is, are these sources correct? Is this story true? Well, I sat on this story for a bit, doing a little research, and I did stumble across an article that tended to reinforce that yes, Hasbro is struggling with sluggish toy sales. In an article titled "Hasbro Stock Falls as Sales Sink, Toymaker Warns of More Declines Ahead," Investopedia writes, quote, "Hasbro shares tumbled over 6% in early trading Tuesday," this is back in February, "as the toy giant reported its revenue plunged and warned of slowing demand amid difficult economic conditions. The maker of G.I. Joe and Star Wars toys posted an unadjusted loss of $7.64 per share for the fourth quarter compared to a loss of 93 cents a year ago. Adjusted earnings per share came in at 38 cents, well short of forecasts. Revenue sank 23% from a year earlier to $1.29 billion. Sales at the company's entertainment segment cratered 49%, and sales at its consumer products unit were down 25%. Hasbro noted sales in its Wizards of the Coast and digital gaming segment grew 7%. Unquote. So, take it with a grain of salt, my friends, but given the information I've seen, there is at least some plausibility to this rumor. And given my personal experience as a toy collector formerly interested in Star Wars, yeah, the only time will tell. This one feels pretty spot on to me. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, oh yes, stay angry.
Ha 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 ha.